My son, please open this. Open not only your eyes, but especially your heart. First of all, I want you to know that I am here with you at this time. I know the weight you have been carrying in silence. I know that pain that no one can perceive, that battle that goes on inside your soul while, on the outside, you try to show that everything is fine. I know the times you smiled so as not to worry anyone. I know of the nights when you lay down with your mind full of questions, trying to understand why some things happened, why certain people walked away, why some paths became more difficult than you imagined. I saw every tear that fell when no one was looking. I listened to every prayer offered in silence. I know every thought that crossed your mind when you wondered if you still had the strength to continue. My son, I know your struggle. I know the tiredness that is not only in your body, but in your soul. I know that feeling of carrying too much responsibility, of trying to stay strong even when inside you feel like you're about to collapse. But today, I want to reveal something to your heart. There is something going on that your eyes cannot yet see. You think you're standing still, but I tell you, I'm working. You think you've wasted time, but I tell you, I'm using every season of your life to form something inside of you. You think this difficult phase is a defeat, but I tell you, it is revealing a strength that you did not yet know, my son. Not everything that seems like silence means absence. Not everything that seems backward means forgetfulness. Not everything that seems like a closed door means loss. Remember Joseph. He looked at the walls of a prison and thought that was the end of his story. But I was seeing something he couldn't see. I was turning that place of pain into a path of preparation. The prison that seemed to impede his steps was the place where I was preparing his arrival at the purpose. Perhaps today you are looking at your life through your wounds. Maybe you're looking at what you've lost, at what hasn't happened, at what hasn't arrived yet. But I'm looking at what I've put inside of you. I haven't lost control of your story. I haven't abandoned your dreams. I didn't ignore his tears. Each difficult moment revealed a part of him that needed to be strengthened. Each battle brought a depth that you wouldn't have acquired in easy days. My word says in Isaiah 43:2, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when by the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you pass through the fire, you will not be burned, nor will the flame burn in you." I never promised that you wouldn't face deep waters. I never promised you wouldn't have rough nights, but I promised you would never walk alone. My son, as you listen to these words, I am already touching areas of your soul that need healing. I am already bringing light to places where fear has tried to take root. I'm already strengthening parts of you that were tired of fighting. There's a reason why you've come to this message today. There is something that your soul needs to remember. Before this moment ends, I want you to see a truth that you may have forgotten. What you called the end may be the very beginning of what I am revealing in your life. Open your heart, my son, because I'm still writing your story. My son, stay with me for a few more moments because I want to reveal something that your soul needs to understand. I'm going to show you that many situations that seemed like losses were invisible movements of my hands preparing a new path. You will understand why some doors closed and why certain weights were part of your transformation. If this word has found your heart, write Amen as a statement of faith and trust in me. Also, like this message and subscribe to continue receiving words that strengthen your walk with me. Don't go now. In the last few minutes of this message, I have something special to reveal to you, something that will remind your soul that I have never failed to care for you. Open your heart and keep listening, because I am bringing light to that which seemed unanswered and revealing the hidden purpose behind your journey. I am with you today, my son. I'm still working on areas of your heart that have been wounded by time. There are brands that you have learned to hide, but I know every single one of them. I know the words that have been etched in your mind. I know the times when you compared yourself to other people and felt like you were falling behind. But I tell you, you were not born to be defined by the voices that tried to diminish you. You think you've lost value because someone didn't recognize your importance, but I tell you, What I put inside you has never depended on people's approval. You think your failures have erased your purpose, but I tell you, my hands are still on your life. I did not abandon you at the time of the fall. I didn't turn my face away when you messed up. I didn't stop loving you when you felt weak. Pedro cried after denying me, but I could already see the restoration that would take place within him. Before he understood who he could be, I already knew the man who was being formed. My son, I also know what is being formed within you. There is a version of you that was born out of pain, fear, and disappointment. But I'm revealing a deeper identity, an identity that doesn't depend on circumstances. You think you're just someone trying to survive, but I tell you, you're someone being rebuilt. You think that losses took parts of you away, but I tell you, some losses just removed layers that hid who you really are. Just as the sculptor works in the clay, removing that which prevents the final form from appearing, I am working on areas of his life that need to be transformed. Don't be afraid of the process. The seed needs to break through its own shell to start growing. The root must go deep into the darkness of the earth before it reaches the light. My son, maybe you are in a phase where no one can perceive what is happening inside you. Maybe people only look at their appearance, their circumstances, and their results. But I see the inside. I see your faith when no one notices. I see your courage when you continue, even tired. I see your search for me when your soul is searching for answers. My word says in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the thoughts I think of you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you the end you are waiting for." My son, my thoughts about you are greater than the thoughts that were born of your pains. Do not allow a difficult season to steal the vision that I have placed within you. I am restoring your consciousness. I am healing your perception. I am reminding your soul that you are not what you have lost. You are what I am forming. What seemed empty is becoming room for growth. What seemed like rejection is revealing a new path. What seemed like the end is showing that my story is still being written in you. My son, write, "Lord, I believe." And by liking this video, you take this word to another child who also needs to hear that he is not alone. My son, I know that there are pains that you carry in silence. There are memories that come suddenly and squeeze your heart. There are moments that you would like to forget, but that still feel alive within your memory. I know these brands. I know what you have never told anyone. I know the questions that were born after that loss. I know the days when you tried to understand why you had to go through certain situations. But I want to reveal something profound to your soul. The pain that tried to stop you has no authority to define your destiny. You think that what hurt you destroyed your walk, but I tell you, I am using even these experiences to strengthen your roots. A tree that never faces wind may look beautiful, but its roots have not yet been proven. It is the storms that reveal what is hidden beneath the earth. My son, I'm not just looking at what happened to you. I am looking at what is being born within you because of what has happened. You think you've lost parts of your life, but I tell you, I'm restoring parts of your soul that were forgotten. You think your tears were signs of weakness, but I tell you many tears watered seeds that are now taking root. Look at Job. He lost that which seemed to sustain his life. He faced times when his own questions seemed bigger than his answers. He didn't understand the process, but even without understanding everything, I was still present. My word says in Job 42:10, "And the Lord turned Job's captivity when he prayed for his friends." My son, I am the God who changes scenarios. I am the God who turns difficult pages into chapters of restoration. You are looking at what has come out of your hands, but I am looking at what I am forming within your heart. You look at the wound and remember the pain. I look at the same wound and see maturity, compassion, and a strength that was previously hidden. Some people met you at the moment you were falling and thought that this would be your story, but they don't know what I'm building in secret. They saw their night, but I already know their dawn. They have seen their struggle, but I already see their transformation. My son, Do not surrender your identity for a difficult phase. Don't let a painful chapter make you forget that I'm still writing. The enemy of your soul wants you to look back and see only losses. But I'm opening your eyes to see the hidden purpose. I'm turning wounds into testimonies. I'm turning falls into learning. I'm turning moments of weakness into places where my strength manifests. The pain tried to convince you that it was the end, but I'm revealing that it was just a passage to a greater depth. My son, if you believe that your pain will not have the last word, right, God is strengthening me. My son, I know that some closed doors have left questions inside your heart. I know you looked at an opportunity that didn't happen, at an answer that didn't come, at a path that felt right, and thought, why was this taken away from me? But I want to reveal something that your eyes can't see yet. You think you missed a door, but I tell you, I was protecting your steps. You think you were prevented from advancing, but I tell you, I was avoiding paths that could hurt your soul. Not always what you desire is what prepares you for the purpose I have placed within you. My son, you look at the present moment, but I see the road complete. You only see the curve in front of you, but I know the whole way. When a child holds his father's hand during a walk, he does not need to understand all directions. She only trusts because she knows who is leading, so I want your heart to walk with me. You think that a closed door means rejection, but I tell you, some doors were closed because I was taking care of you. You think that a farewell means loss, but I tell you, some farewells were deliverances that you have not yet understood. You think that a wait means forgetfulness, but I tell you, some waits are places where I strengthen your roots before I allow your fruits to appear. My word says in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. My son, your understanding is limited by what happens before your eyes, but my vision reaches into that which is hidden. I see dangers you haven't seen. I see ways that could take you away from what I'm training. I see meetings that need to happen. I see places where your soul needs to grow. You asked for an answer and found a block, but I was responding in a way that you still couldn't comprehend. You asked for advancement and found a break, but I was working on areas within you that needed to be strengthened. You asked for direction and found silence, but I was teaching his heart to recognize my voice. My son, do not confuse a closed door with a closed story. A seed needs to remain underground before it breaks through the surface. If it were taken away before its time, it would not achieve what it was created for. In the same way, there are hidden processes going on within you. I'm aligning your mind. I'm healing your insecurities. I'm removing weights that you've carried for too long. What you called delay, I call preparation. What you called loss, I call protection. What you called emptiness, I call space for what I am forming. My son, trust the process that your eyes do not yet understand. Not every closed door is the end of the road. Some are the sign that I'm leading you to something that matches more with the purpose I've put into your life. Do not go now, my child. What follows has been kept especially for you, and it may be what will change what you believe about your future. My son, I know the wounds you have learned to hide. I know of the times when you put a smile on your face while your soul cried out for care. I know the times when you answered, "It's okay," just so you didn't have to explain the depth of what you were feeling. But in front of me, you don't have to pretend. I know what no one knows. I know the memories that still hurt. I know the words that marked his heart. I know the times when you felt forgotten, rejected, or alone. You think you need to hide your scars to be loved, but I tell you, my hands already know each one of them. You think your pain has taken you away from me, but I tell you, it was precisely in the deepest places of your pain that I remain closest. My word says in Psalm 147:3, heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds. My son, I don't just heal what people can see. I touch what is hidden. I'm going into places in your soul that no one has been able to reach. I am bringing light to thoughts that have become trapped in darkness. I am restoring feelings that you believed would never be healed. The healing I do begins in the invisible. Before changing a situation around you, I strengthen what exists within you. Before opening a new door, I prepare your heart not to carry the same fears you did before. Before restoring that which has been lost, I restore the way you see yourself. My son, you think you just need circumstances to change, but I tell you, there is a deeper healing happening within your consciousness, because when the soul is healed, the eyes begin to see differently. You begin to realize that that rejection did not define your value. You begin to realize that that loss did not destroy your purpose. You begin to realize that that difficult phase was not the end of your story. It was just a chapter where I was working quietly. Imagine a seed under the ground. No one sees what happens in that dark place. No one notices when the roots begin to emerge. But life is happening even when the eyes can't keep up. So I'm also working on you. Maybe people don't notice your transformation yet. Perhaps no one sees the strength that is being born within your heart. But I see. I see every little advance. I watch it every time you choose to continue. I see every moment when you fight thoughts that try to steal your hope. My child, do not despise the healing process. I'm not just treating your old wounds. I am preparing your soul to live a new perception about who you are and what I have placed inside you. The pain tried to make you believe you were broken, but I'm revealing that you're being restored. State in the comments, I get that word, and by leaving your like, you help to take this message to another heart. My son, I know that there are times when you look at your walk and feel that you are in a place where nothing seems to flourish. You look around and see silence, waiting, and uncertainty. You ask why you need to go down this path, why the answers seem far away, and why what you hoped for hasn't happened yet. But I want to reveal something to your heart. You think you're lost in the wilderness, but I tell you, I'm using this place to prepare your soul. The desert is not where your story ends. The desert is where I often strengthen what needs to remain when you get to the next level of your hike. You think this period is a delay, but I tell you, I am building deep roots within you. A tree that grows quickly without strong roots does not remain standing when the winds come. Therefore, before revealing fruits, I strengthen the base. My son, maybe you're looking at the absence of results, but I'm looking at the transformation that happens in the secret. I'm teaching you to trust when there are no signs. I'm strengthening you when no one is watching. I am forming within you a faith that does not depend only on what your eyes can see. My word says in Deuteronomy 8:2, "And you shall remember all the way in which the Lord your God led you in the wilderness, these 40 years, to humble you and to prove you, to know what was in your heart." My son, I know your heart. I know the areas that need to be strengthened. I know the fears that need to lose strength. I know the insecurities that try to keep you from moving forward. The desert reveals what is inside, but it also reveals what I'm building. You think you're going through a meaningless phase, but I tell you, there's a hidden purpose in this path. I led Israel through the wilderness before the promised land. I led Moses through the wilderness before the mission that would change a nation. I allowed Jesus to pass through the wilderness before beginning his ministry. The desert was not the destination. It was preparation. My son, do not despise the places where I am working in silence. It is in the secret that I strengthen your conscience. It is in silence that I teach your soul to recognize my voice. It is in the waiting that I remove weights that would prevent you from walking freely. What you learn from me when no one is looking will be the force that will sustain you when everyone can see. Don't be afraid of this period. You think you're just surviving, but I tell you, I'm preparing you. You think you're far from the promise, but I tell you, I'm working on the details that your eyes don't yet notice. The desert didn't come to destroy you. He came to reveal a strength that already exists within you. My son, by liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become an instrument in my hands, helping this word reach those who most need to hear that have not been forgotten. My son, I know the times when you feel like you're carrying weights that seem too big for your shoulders. I know those times when you look around and feel that no one can fully comprehend what is going on inside you. You think you're walking alone. But I tell you, I'm walking with you every step. Even when his eyes don't notice my presence, I remain close. Even when your prayers seem to find silence, I keep listening. Even when the path seems dark, my hand keeps holding yours. You think you're fighting this battle unaided, but I tell you, there are battles you've won because I was sustaining you when your own strength was no longer enough. Do you remember those times when you thought you couldn't keep going? Do you remember the times when you thought you wouldn't have the strength to get up again? I was there. When you woke up on a new day even carrying worries, I was there. When a small hope was born within his heart after a great sadness, I was there. When a word came to you at the right time and brought relief to your soul, I was there. My word says in Matthew 28:20, "And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." My son, this promise does not depend on what you feel at any given moment. My presence does not disappear when you face difficulties. My care does not diminish when you go through a storm. I am present in the battle. I am present in the wait. I am present in the reconstruction. You think you need to understand all the details to continue, but I tell you, you just need to trust those who know the full way. A child does not need to know all the curves of the road when he is holding his father's hand. She walks because she trusts in the one who leads her. So I also want to strengthen your soul. You think you need to see the next step before you walk, but I tell you, I already know the path before your feet even reach it. I see what is hidden. I see doors that have not yet appeared. I see dangers that you don't realize. I see opportunities that your eyes do not yet reach. My son, do not allow difficulty to make you forget who is by your side. Fear tries to convince you that you are abandoned. Doubt tries to make you believe that you need to solve everything yourself. But I'm touching your mind right now and reminding your soul of a truth that has never changed. You belong to me. I'm not just watching your walk from afar. I am present in every detail of it. I am strengthening your heart for the hard days. I am renewing your hope in times of weariness. I am showing that your story is not driven by fear, but by my hands. There is someone in your heart now. Write that person's name in the comments. I hear every name you declare. My son, perhaps you have come to this moment carrying a question within your heart. Is there still something prepared for me? Could it be that after everything I've faced, can my story still change? I know that question. I know that place inside you where hope seems small, where the memories of hardship try to speak louder than my promise. But I want to engrave a truth deep in your soul. While I'm writing your story, it's not over yet. You think that the difficult chapter is the final chapter, but I tell you, it is only a part of what I am forming. You think the closed door has closed your path, but I tell you, I'm still leading your steps. You think the tear shed was proof of defeat, but I tell you, I am using every experience to build a strength that you do not yet realize. My son, no difficult phase is greater than the purpose I have placed within you. Joseph looked at a prison and could not imagine the palace that was prepared. David looked at a giant and could not see the victory that would come. Danielle looked at a den of lions, but I was already present before he entered that place. The difficulty was real, but it was never greater than my presence. My word says in Romans 8:28, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God." My son, this means that I don't waste any moment of your walk. I use happy days to bring gratitude. I use the difficult days to generate depth. I use the quiet moments to strengthen your confidence. You think that some parts of your story have been forgotten, but I tell you, I was working even on the chapters that you didn't want to live. As a work being built, not all the details appear at the beginning. Sometimes you see only dust, walls being lifted, and changes happening slowly. But the builder knows the result before everyone can see it. So I am also working on you. I know the full picture. I know the person I'm forming. I know the strength that is emerging after every battle. My child, do not allow what has happened to try to define what you will be. Your pain doesn't have the final word. Your past doesn't have the final word. Your losses don't have the final word. I keep writing, and when I write a story, no obstacle can erase what I put into it. The seed may spend time hiding in the earth, but that doesn't mean it died. Often, it is precisely in the hidden place that life begins to emerge. You may not yet see all the signs of the transformation, but I'm already working on the roots. I'm already strengthening your faith. I am already restoring your hope. I am already preparing your vision to see beyond the circumstances. Do not stop now, my child. What comes in the next few minutes may be the answer you've been seeking for so long, and I've saved it for this very moment. My son, I know there are times when you look at your life and you can't see what's going on. You look at the silence, the waiting, and that which has not yet manifested. And your heart begins to think that nothing is changing, but I want to reveal something that is beyond what your eyes can reach. You think you're hiding, but I tell you, you're being strengthened. You think you've been pushed aside, but I tell you, I'm working in the deep places of your soul. Not every silent phase means no movement. Often, the greatest growth happens just where no one can see it. A seed does not make noise as it breaks through the earth. It does not announce when its roots begin to grow. She remains hidden, receiving strength from a place that seems dark, but it is exactly there that life begins to emerge. My son, I'm doing something similar inside you. You look at what is above the earth, but I am taking care of what is below it. You observe the fruits that have not yet appeared, but I am strengthening their roots. You expect visible results, but I am building an inner structure that will sustain what is being formed. You think you're standing still, but I tell you, there's movement happening in the invisible. I'm working on your way of thinking. I'm strengthening your confidence. I'm healing insecurities that made you doubt what I've put inside of you. My son, remember Abraham. He received a promise when he still had no evidence that it would be fulfilled. He walked, carrying a word inside his heart, before holding the result in his hands. My word says in Hebrews 11:1, "Now faith is the assurance of what we hope for, and the evidence of things we do not see." Faith is not born when everything is explained. Faith is born when you continue to trust, even when the path is still covered by mystery. I know you'd like to see it all done. I know you'd like to understand every detail. But I am teaching your soul to rest in me before it receives that which it expects. Because what arrives without roots can be easily lost. That's why I'm strengthening you from within. I am preparing your mind not to be overwhelmed by fear. I'm preparing your heart not to give up in the middle of the process. I am preparing your identity so that you do not rely solely on circumstances to believe in who you are. My son, do not despise the hidden phase. David tended the sheep in the field before facing giants in front of a crowd. Moses walked through the wilderness before leading an entire people. The place where no one saw value was the place where I was forming leaders. You think you are far from the purpose, but I tell you, you are being prepared by it. Each tear watered a seed inside you. Each battle has deepened a root. Each difficult moment revealed a part of him that needed to be strengthened. I'm not just taking care of what you're going to live. I am taking care of who you are becoming as you walk with me. Because before I put something new in your hands, I strengthen that which sustains your heart. My son, I know there are times when you look at the silence and start questioning if I'm still close. I know there are days when you expect a clear answer, a visible confirmation, something that will make your heart rest immediately. But I want to touch a deeper part of your soul. You think I'm silent, but I tell you, I'm speaking in ways that you're still learning to perceive. My voice doesn't always come as a big event. My answer doesn't always come through something that everyone can see. Often, I speak through that peace that comes when everything around seems otherwise. I speak through the strength that arises within you when you thought you couldn't go on. I speak through a memory that brings hope. I speak through a closed door that protects his steps. I speak through small details that your soul perceives when it is connected with me. My son, do not seek only the extraordinary and forget the simple. Often, what you call a coincidence is a precaution that you have not yet understood. My word says in 1 Kings 19:12, And after the fire came a whisper of a gentle breeze. I wasn't just in the strong wind. I was also in the whisper. I was showing that my presence does not depend on grandiose manifestations to be real. I'm close when you wake up in the morning and find the strength to keep going. I am close when a right word reaches your heart at the moment when you needed it most. I am close when you go through a difficult situation and realize that you have received a strength that did not come only from you. You think you are alone on that path, but I tell you, my hands were already supporting you. You think you have come this far only by your own ability, but I tell you, there have been times when my grace has carried you when your strength was running low. My son, your soul is like a prepared land. There are words that I deposit inside you that need time to take root. A seed does not become a tree at the same instant it touches the earth. There is a hidden process going on before the fruits appear. So it is with your faith. You think that because you haven't seen the result yet, nothing is happening. But I tell you, the invisible is already being worked on. I'm strengthening your confidence. I'm maturing your heart. I'm teaching you to stand firm even when your eyes still can't see the answer. There is a gap between promise and fulfillment, and this interval is not empty. It is in this space that I prepare your soul to receive, understand, and value what I am forming. My son, do not abandon the faith, because the process seems slow. The root grows before the fruit appears. The light begins to dawn before the dawn is completely revealed. You think you just need a change around you, but I tell you, the greatest transformation starts within you. I'm touching your perception. I am renewing your hope. I am teaching your heart to listen to my voice, even in quiet moments. That word didn't come to you by chance. Write in the comments, I trust God, and let that be your act of faith for me today. My son, I know that there are marks on your soul that you still carry. I know that some memories still bring tears to your eyes. I know there are moments you'd like to erase from your history, as if they never happened. But I want to show you a truth that you may not have understood yet. You think your scars are signs of defeat, but I tell you, they are proof that my hand sustained you through the battle. You think that what hurt you took away your strength, but I tell you what you went through revealed a strength that was hidden within you. I didn't waste any tears. I didn't ignore any difficult night. I didn't let any moment of pain pass without purpose. That which seemed to be destroying his hope was also building a depth that easy days could never produce. My son, look at the gold. Before revealing his beauty, he passes through the fire. Fire does not create the value of gold. It only reveals what was already present. So, it is with you. The difficulties did not create their value. They only revealed a strength that I had already put into his life. You think the storm changed who you were, but I tell you, the storm revealed roots that were growing quietly. A tree that never faces wind does not develop the same resistance. It is the difficult seasons that deepen its roots and strengthen its structure. My word says at 2 Corinthians 4:17, "For our light affliction for a moment produces for us an everlasting weight of glory, very fine." My son, I'm not just looking at what you've lost. I am looking at that which was born within you as you faced loss. You have learned to have more compassion. You've learned to value small moments. You learned to depend more on me. You learned that your strength came not only from your circumstances, but from my presence sustaining your heart. You think that your history was marked only by suffering. But I tell you, it is also marked by my fidelity. You look back and see wounds, but I see places where my grace has reached you. You look at declines, but I see rises. You look at losses, but I see growth. My son, do not be ashamed of the scars that tell the story of your overcoming. The scars do not mean that the pain has won. They mean that the pain has passed and you have remained. I'm restoring the way you see your own journey. I'm taking out of your eyes the vision of someone broken and putting in the vision of someone who has been strengthened. Because you're not just someone who suffered. You are someone who has been supported. You're not just someone who's fallen. You're someone my hands raised up.
The wound tried to define you, but I'm revealing a larger identity. Pain tried to write the last chapter, but I'm still holding the pen of your story. My son, if you are here, it is because I have allowed it.
I have something to reveal to you later today. Don't leave before you've heard what's next. My son, I know there are times when you look back and feel like you could have done it differently. I know that some memories bring thoughts about paths that were not chosen, opportunities that have passed, and years that seem to have been left behind. But I want to touch your heart with a truth that changes the way you see your story. You think you wasted time, but I tell you, I was working in every season of your life. You think a few years were wasted, but I tell you, I was using every experience to form something inside you. Nothing you give into my hands is lost. I am able to turn tears into wisdom. I am able to transform pain into maturity. I am able to transform broken paths into places where a new direction begins to be born. My son, you look at the clock and see delay, but I look at your journey and I see preparation. You look at what didn't happen and feel sadness, but I see what was avoided. You look at a door that has not opened and think that you have missed an opportunity, but I see a protection that you have not yet understood. Remember Joseph. When his brothers sold him, to human eyes it seemed that his history was being destroyed. It seemed that his dreams were being buried along with that injustice. But I was present. The same road that seemed to lead Joseph away from the purpose was leading him to the very place where I wanted to put him. What seemed like a loss was a preparation. What seemed like an interruption was a connection to something bigger. My word says in Joel 2:25, I will restore to you the years that were consumed by the locust. My son, I am not limited by time as you are. You count the years that have passed, but I see the lessons that have been born. You tell the difficult moments, but I see the strength that was formed. You count the mistakes, but I see the transformation that happened through them. I'm not stuck in your past. I'm working with what you have today. You think you need to go back to regain what you lost, but I tell you, I am teaching you to walk with a new consciousness. Because sometimes you wish to reclaim an old version of you, but I am building someone stronger, deeper, and more prepared. My son, do not allow regret to steal the vision of what I am still building. A tree is not ashamed of the rings that show its age. Each brand tells a story of resistance. Each station left a part of its strength. So is his journey. Each phase taught something, each battle revealed something, each weight produced something. I am restoring your perception of your own history. I am showing that what seemed lost was not out of my care. I've been good at your life in ways you haven't even noticed. Write in the comments, Amen, and proclaim with me my goodness over you. My son, I know those moments when you feel like you've reached your limit. I know the days when you wake up carrying worries before you even start your journey. I know the weight of the responsibilities, the decisions, and the battles you face in silence. I know when you look at everything around you and think, I'm not going to be able to go on. But I want to reveal something deep to your heart. You think your strength is gone, but I tell you, it is in this place that my strength begins to reveal itself in you. You think that weakness is the end of your journey, but I tell you, many times it is the place where you discover that you have never been walking alone. My word says in Corinthians 12:9, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. My son, I don't expect you to carry all the weights using only your own strength. I didn't raise you to face everything alone. I want you to discover a strength that is born not only from your ability, but from my presence sustaining your soul. You think you need to be strong all the time, but I tell you, you just need to stay connected with me. A tree does not become resistant because it has never faced storms. It becomes strong because its roots have learned to stand firm even when the winds have tried to knock it down. So I am also working on you. Each difficulty has deepened a root. Every moment of waiting strengthened his confidence. Each battle revealed a part of him that needed to mature. My son, you look back on the hard days and ask why you had to go through them. But I look back on those same days and see where your inner structure has been strengthened. You think the storm has come to destroy you, but I tell you it has also revealed what I was building inside of you. You think you have lost your ability to go on, but I tell you, there is a force being awakened in your soul. I'm strengthening your mind when thoughts try to overcome you. I'm renewing your heart when fatigue tries to take over. I'm holding your steps when you feel like you can't walk anymore. My son, do not confuse tiredness with failure. Even the great men and women of the faith had moments of exhaustion. Elijah got to a point where he thought he couldn't go on, but I took care of him, restored his strength, and showed him that his journey wasn't over yet. My word says in Isaiah 40:31, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint." I am renewing what seemed lost. I am strengthening what seemed fragile. I am creating within you a resistance that does not depend on circumstances. My son, you don't need to prove to anyone that you can carry everything. You need to remember that my hands continue to support you. The strength you seek outside begins when you recognize what I am already doing inside. This message is not for everyone, my son. If you are here, it is because I have chosen you to hear what comes next. Are you ready? My son, I know the thoughts that go through your mind when things don't go as you imagined. I know that need to understand every detail, to know every step, to predict every outcome, to feel safe. I know how hard it is to walk when you can't see the whole way. But I want to reveal something to your heart. You think you're losing control, but I tell you, you've never been out of my care. You think you need to hold everything with your own hands, but I tell you, my hands are already holding what you can't carry. My son, you often suffer not only from what is happening, but from the fear of what may happen. Your mind tries to construct answers to questions that I have not yet revealed. Your heart tries to find ways where I am already working in silence, but I'm not confused. I'm not lost. I'm not trying to find a solution. I already know the beginning, the middle, and the end of your journey. You see only a small part of the road, but I see the full way. A child who holds his father's hand does not need to know every bend in the road. She walks because she trusts in the one who is guiding her steps. My son, I am teaching your soul to rest in my direction. My word says in Psalm 37:23-24, "The steps of a good man are established by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not fall down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand." I didn't promise that you would never face moments of uncertainty. I promised you would never be careless. When you stumble, I'm close. When you feel lost, I'm guiding. When you don't know which path to choose, I keep working on the details that your eyes can't perceive. You think that some things have gone out of place, but I tell you, I am organizing what you cannot control. You think that everything depends on your perfect decisions, but I tell you, my grace also reaches your moments of doubt and learning. My son, do not carry the burden of trying to control what belongs in my hands. The seed does not control the rainy weather. The tree does not control the arrival of the seasons, but both continue to grow because there is an order established by me. So it is with you. I'm taking care of the roots before revealing the fruits. I'm aligning paths before you notice the changes. I'm protecting you from things you don't even know needed to be avoided. Sometimes what seems like confusion is just a process that you haven't understood yet. Sometimes what seems like loss is a hidden protection. Sometimes what seems like a lack of direction is my invitation to trust more deeply. My son, let go of the weight of trying to control every detail. Allow my peace to reach the places where anxiety has tried to take up residence. I'm holding you through every season. I am present in every step. I continue to drive his story even when his eyes still can't see the next chapter. My son, I know the nights that seem to have no end. I know those moments when you look around and feel like the answer is far away. I know the weight of waiting for a change, for a restoration, for a door that finally opens. I know there are days when the darkness seems greater than your ability to see hope, but I want to reveal something to your heart. You think the night will never end, but I tell you, the dawn is already forming. You think nothing is happening because you can't see the light yet. But I tell you, there are movements happening before your eyes notice. Night does not prevent the birth of day. Silence does not prevent the arrival of my answer. The hidden process does not mean an absence of care. My son, before the sun,
appears on the horizon. There is a moment when everything still seems dark, but the light is already approaching. The sky begins to change before everyone knows it.
Morning begins to rise before the first rays are seen. So, I am also working on your life. You think you are stuck in a difficult phase, but I tell you, I am using this period to prepare your soul to recognize what I am forming. Because sometimes you ask for a blessing, but first I prepare your eyes to see it. You ask for a change, but first I strengthen your heart to sustain it. You ask for an answer, but first I teach your soul to trust. My word says in Psalm 35,
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. My son, the night may be long, but it has no authority to stop the morning I have established. You think your tears have been forgotten, but I tell you, every one of them has been seen by me. You think your weight was empty, but I tell you, I was working in places you couldn't reach. I was strengthening his faith. I was restoring their hope. I was preparing your consciousness to see beyond the circumstances. Don't let a difficult night make you forget that there is a dawn. Don't allow a temporary phase to make you believe that your story is over. The seed that remains under the ground is not dead. It is receiving strength to break through the surface at the right time. My son, maybe you are in a season where everything seems to be at a standstill, but I tell you, life continues to happen in the invisible. The roots are growing. The structure is being strengthened. The light is approaching. I'm working while you wait. I'm taking care of you while you rest. I am preparing your soul to receive that which your eyes cannot yet see. Trust myself through the night, because I remain God when the path is clear and when the road seems dark. I haven't lost control of your story. I haven't abandoned your dreams. I didn't let your hope fade. Dawn is already forming. There are so many other children of mine who need to hear this now. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become part of the chain that I use to bring my word to those who are on edge. My son, I know those moments when you feel like you're walking alone. I know that feeling of looking around and realizing that few people understand what goes on inside their heart. I know there are battles you face in silence. There are tears that you hide. There are thoughts that you keep because you believe that no one would be able to fully understand your journey. But I want to reveal something to your soul. You think you are alone on the way, but I tell you, my presence has never departed from you. You think no one sees your struggle, but I tell you, my eyes have always been on you. You think you were going through this phase without support, but I tell you, my hand was already supporting your steps. My son, I was present on the days when you needed to be strong, when inside you felt tired. I was present when you smiled to reassure someone, even carrying a battle inside your soul. I was present when you wept silently and thought your prayers were not being heard. Nothing went unnoticed before me. My word says in Isaiah 41:10, Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. My son, this promise does not depend on what you feel at any given moment. My presence doesn't change when circumstances change. I remain your God when the path is smooth and when you cross difficult valleys. You think you need to find someone who fully understands your journey, but I tell you, before anyone knew your story, I already knew every detail of it. I knew his first tear. I knew his first fight. I knew every moment when his heart had to choose between giving up and continuing. And every time you chose to continue, even without understanding, I was strengthening something inside you. My son, a tree does not need everyone to see its roots to remain standing. Its strength is hidden in what no one observes. So it is with you. There is a force being built in the secret. There is a growing faith in places where no one applauds. There is a trust being formed in the moments when you only have my presence to lean on. You think loneliness is trying to push you away. But I tell you, some phases of silence are places where I bring you closer to me. It is in silence that your soul often learns to listen. It is in waiting that your heart learns to trust. It is on the difficult path that you discover that my presence is greater than any absence. My son, do not allow people's lack of understanding to make you believe that you are abandoned. Some people may not see your struggle, but I do. Some people may not understand your phase, but I know the purpose. Some people may not walk beside you at all times, but I remain. I am your constant company. I am the one who walks with you when no one else can walk. I am the one who holds your hand when your strength seems to wane, and as you continue to move forward. I am revealing that the journey has never been just about reaching the destination, but about discovering that my presence has always been with you at every turn. My son, I know that there are memories that still try to hold your heart to what happened. I know there are moments in your history that you revisit in your mind and think they define who you are today. But I want to reveal something that changes the way you see your journey. You think your past has the power to determine your future, but I tell you, my hands are bigger than any chapter that has been left behind. You think that what happened marked you forever, but I tell you, I am renewing your interior. I don't see you just for the mistakes you made. I don't see you just for the losses you faced. I don't see you just for the words that hurt your soul. I see what I am forming within you. My son, some people look at a tree and see only the marks on the trunk, but I see the roots that grew during the difficult seasons. I see the strength that was built while no one was watching, so I also look at you. I see beyond the scars, I see beyond the falls. I see beyond the memories that tried to steal your hope. You think you need to go back to the past to fix everything, but I tell you, I'm working in the present to transform your perception of your own history. My word says in Romans 12:2, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. My son, the greatest battle often does not happen around you, but within the thoughts you feed. When you believe you can't change, your soul begins to carry a weight that I never put on you. When you believe that your story is over, you fail to notice the new seeds that I am already birthing. But I'm renewing your mind. I'm showing you that you're not what happened to you. You are not the rejection you received. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the door that has closed. You are someone who is being restored by my hands. My son, a new morning does not erase the night that has passed, but it reveals that the night has never had dominion over the day. This is what I am also doing inside you. The darkness you faced did not extinguish the light I placed in your soul. The difficulties did not destroy the purpose I put within you. I'm bringing a new vision. I'm healing the way you see your journey. I'm teaching you to look back, not only with sorrow, but with understanding. Because what once seemed like just pain also carried learning. What seemed like a loss also carried protection. What seemed like the end also carried a new direction. My son, do not allow yesterday to steal the beauty of what I am building today. I am birthing a renewed consciousness within you. I am bringing light to old thoughts. I am strengthening your hope. I'm showing you that your story is not defined by what you've been through, but by what my hands continue to form in you. If this video is providing answers you need to hear, write in the comments, God cares for me, and prophesy this truth about your own life. My son, I know that there are times when you look at a situation and feel that you have reached the limit. I know there are areas of your life where you've tried to find a solution, you've tried to open a door, you've tried to see a way out, but everything seems to stay the same. I know those places where your hope has been tested. I know those situations that make you ask, is there still a way? But I want to reveal something to your heart. You think there is no way anymore, but I tell you, I am already working in the midst of the impossible. You think you've come to an end, but I tell you, for me the end of a human possibility can be the beginning of a manifestation of my hand. My son, when you look only with your natural eyes, some situations really seem unsolvable, but I don't see how you see it. You see a wall. I see a passage. You see a closed door. I see a path being prepared. You see a lost situation. I see something that is still being transformed. My word says in Isaiah 43:19, "Behold, I do a new thing. Now it shall come forth. Do you not perceive it? Here I shall set a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the wilderness." My son, I am the one who opens paths where no one can see a passage. I am the one who gives birth to hope in places where people believed that nothing else could grow. Remember the people before the sea. They looked ahead and saw waters that were impossible to cross. They looked back and saw what looked like a threat approaching. To human eyes, there was no way out. But what seemed like an end was only the place where my strength would be revealed. You think you're stuck in an unsolvable situation, but I tell you, I'm still God in the impossible. I'm working on details that you don't realize. I'm moving paths that your eyes still can't follow. I am preparing answers that are not enough just to change a circumstance, but to strengthen your faith. My son, do not limit my action to the size of your understanding. His vision reaches only part of the story. My vision reaches all. You see today's problem, but I see the transformation that is happening through it. You see the delay, but I see the right moment. You see the desert, but I see a fountain coming up. The seed does not understand the process when it is underground. She just keeps getting what she needs to grow. So too am I working on you. Even when you don't notice movement, there is life happening. Even when you don't see changes, there is preparation going on. Even when you don't understand the way, my hand keeps leading your steps. My son, do not allow an impossible situation to make you forget who I am. I'm not limited by circumstances. I am not hindered by difficulties. I'm not surprised by the obstacles. I continue to be the one who restores, transforms, and opens paths. What comes next may be the exact signal you asked for. I saved it for this moment. Stay with me. My son, I know that some pains came unexpectedly. I know there are times when you looked at a difficult situation and felt that it was trying to extinguish your hope. I know that some wounds touched deep places in your soul and made you question if there was still a purpose after everything that happened. But I want you to understand something that goes beyond what your eyes can see. You think the wound revealed your weakness, but I tell you, it revealed areas where my strength was being formed. You think that phase came just to take something away from you, but I tell you, I was using that process to build something inside you. My son, not all pain is destruction. Some pains are tools I use to reveal parts of your identity that were hidden. A gemstone goes through the process of transformation before revealing its beauty. The gold passes through the fire before showing its purity. A seed goes through a hidden phase before breaking through the earth and revealing life. So it is with you. You saw only the hard time, but I saw the growth happening. You saw only the tear, but I saw the maturity being born. You saw only the loss, but I saw a new perception being built within your soul. My word says in Genesis 50:20, "You meant evil against me, but God made it good, to do as it is this day, to keep many people alive." My son, Jose did not understand all the chapters while he was living his story. He didn't know that the path of the pit, slavery, and prison was leading him to a place of authority and purpose. While he saw injustice, I saw preparation. While he saw abandonment, I saw positioning. As he saw a closed door, I saw a path being opened. I was present in every detail, so I am also present in your story. You think I forgot that pain, but I tell you, I am transforming what hurt you into something that strengthens your journey. You think that experience only left marks, but I tell you, it also left lessons. I am using what you have faced to increase your sensitivity, your compassion, and your ability to understand other people. I am forming within you a depth that is not born in easy days. My son, do not allow the wound to be the only thing you see. If you look only at the scar, you will see the memory of the pain. But if you look through my eyes, you will see proof that you have crossed and remained. You are not someone defined by suffering. You are not someone stuck with what happened. You are not a story interrupted by a battle. You are someone who is being rebuilt by my hands, I'm restoring the way you interpret your walk. I'm showing that even the most difficult places can carry seeds of transformation. Because what tried to stop you couldn't stop what I'm forming inside you. The wound did not win. Pain did not win. The past did not win. I continue to work deep within your soul, revealing that there is a greater purpose being built through each part of your story. My son, I know the pain that rejection has left inside you. I know those moments when you tried to understand why someone left, why an opportunity disappeared, why a door that seemed right just closed. I know the questions that were born in silence. Was I not enough? Was there something wrong with me? Was I worthless? But today, I want to touch exactly that place of your soul. You think you've been rejected, but I tell you, not every breakup is a rejection. You think you lost because something or someone left your life, but I tell you, some things needed to come out so that you could walk lighter. My son, there are weights that you have tried to carry out of love, fear, or the need for approval. There are places where you tried to stay, even when my direction was already leading you down another path. But I'm opening your eyes. I'm showing that some goodbyes were protection, some closed doors were taken care of, some departures were preparation. You think you've been left behind, but I tell you, I was separating you for a new time. Look at Joseph. Before occupying a position of honor in Egypt, he had to go through a painful separation. He was estranged from his family, taken to a place he didn't choose, and went through moments when he might have believed his story was over. But I was working. The separation that seemed like a loss was leading him to a greater purpose. Look at David. Before he was recognized as king, he lived in the countryside, far from the applause and away from the eyes of those who might recognize him. But it was there that I strengthened his heart. Look at Moses. Before he understood his mission, he had to leave the palace and go through a phase of preparation. My son, often the place where you feel you have lost something is the place where I am forming something new. My word says in Isaiah 49:16, "Behold, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. You are engraved in my hands." Its value was not born from the presence of people. Its value does not depend on changing opinions. Your value doesn't increase when someone recognizes you, and it doesn't decrease when someone rejects you. I am the source of your identity. I am curing the need for approval that has tired your soul. I'm freeing you from the weight of trying to prove who you are to people who can't see what I've put inside of you. You think you need to be accepted by everyone to be worthwhile, but I tell you, when you know your identity in me, no rejection can erase what I have established in your life. My son, some people have only known one phase of you, but I know your full story. Some people have looked at its limitations, but I see its potential. Some people have looked at their flaws, but I see the transformation happening. I'm teaching your heart to rest. I'm showing you that you don't need to beg for places where my presence has already prepared better paths. There is something in your heart that you have not yet given me completely. Write in the comments what you're uploading. It could be a word, a request, a name. My son, I know the moments when you look at your walk and feel that things have gone out of place. I know that feeling of not knowing exactly which direction to take, of looking at the plans you had built and realizing that many of them didn't happen the way you imagined. I know the questions that arise within your heart. Why has the path changed? Why didn't what seemed right continue? Why did I need to start over? But I want to reveal something that your soul needs to remember. You think you're lost, but I tell you, I'm rearranging your steps. You think you've lost direction, but I tell you, I keep guiding every detail of your journey. My son, not every deviation is a loss. Not every change is a failure. Not every path interrupted means that you have gone out of purpose. Sometimes what you call confusion is just a new direction that your eyes can't yet comprehend. You look at a road that has ended and feel afraid, but I see a new passage being prepared. You look at a door that has closed and think it has no way out,
but I see a different path being revealed. My word says in Psalm 32:8, I will instruct you and teach you the way you should go. I will guide you with my eyes. My son, I'm not just looking at where you are right now. I'm looking at what I'm forming in you as you walk. You see only the present moment, but I see all the connections that your eyes can't yet perceive. You see an unexpected change, but I see an opportunity for growth. You see a pause, but I see preparation. You see an interruption, but I see a protection. My son, sometimes you wish to stay on a path because it is known, but I know places you have yet to reach. A seed does not choose where it will be planted. She needs to trust the process that leads her to a place where she can grow. So I am also leading you. I'm working on your perception. I'm teaching your heart to trust beyond circumstances. I'm removing the anxiety of trying to figure it all out ahead of time. You think you need to know all the details to continue, but I tell you, you just need to trust the one who knows the full way. I'm not improvising your story. I'm not trying to find a solution to what happened. I'm already working behind the scenes. There are connections being formed. There are learnings being built. There are doors being prepared. My son, do not allow a phase of uncertainty to make you believe that I have lost control. I continue to be the one who guides. I continue to be the one who sustains. I continue to be the one who transforms difficult paths into places of growth. What you call change, I call alignment. What you call loss of direction, I call driving. What you call the end of the plan, I call a new way of revealing what I have put inside you. Trust my paths, because they reach places that your limited vision cannot yet see. My son, I know the weight that waiting places on the heart. I know those moments when you look at your walk and it feels like everyone is moving forward while you stay in the same place. I know the comparison that tries to enter your mind. I know the questions that come up when you see other stories happening and think, why hasn't my turn come yet? But I want to reveal something profound to your soul. You think your waiting is empty, but I tell you, I am generating something in the invisible. You think nothing is happening because you can't see changes around you, but I tell you, there are movements happening in places that your eyes can't yet reach. My son, not everything that grows up makes noise. The root of a tree develops hidden before the fruits appear. The seed remains underground before breaking through the surface. There is a silent work happening before what everyone can see. So I'm also working on you. You look at the absence of results, but I see the strengthening of your soul. You look at the time passing, but I see maturity being built. You look at the waiting, but I see preparation. My word says in Ecclesiastes 3:11, He hath made all things beautiful in His time. He has also put the world in their hearts, without man being able to find out the work that God has done from the beginning to the end. My son, there is a right time for each process. I know the exact moment when what I am forming will be ready to be revealed. You think you need to speed up the process, but I tell you, some things need depth before they appear. A strong tree doesn't just grow upwards. Before reaching great heights, it takes deep roots. I'm strengthening your roots. I'm preparing your structure. I am forming within you a capacity that will be necessary to sustain what I'm building. My son, don't try to pluck the seed out of the ground just to find out if it's growing. If you do this, you can stop a process that is still going on. Trust what your eyes can't see. Trust the work that happens in the secret. Trust my hand even when the scenery seems to be at a standstill. You think the delay means I forgot you, but I tell you, I'm taking care of every detail. You think you're waiting for something, but I tell you, during this waiting, I'm also working on you. I'm transforming your way of thinking. I am strengthening your faith. I am preparing your heart to recognize the answer when it comes. Because it is not enough to receive something new if the soul is not yet prepared to carry it. My son, some blessings need to find a person who is strengthened, mature, and aware of the value of what he receives. Therefore, do not despise the hidden process. Don't despise the silent days. Don't despise the phase when no one notices what's going on. I see what's underneath the surface. I see the roots growing. I see life emerging where you can only see land. You were reached because you were chosen. Write in the comments, God has chosen me.
and live that truth every day. My son, I know the way you look at yourself in times of difficulty.
I know how many times you compare your strengths to the challenges that are before you and feel that you don't have what you need to overcome. I know the thoughts that say you can't do it. I know the doubts that try to convince your heart that your limitations are greater than your possibilities. But I want to reveal something profound to your soul. You think your limitations define you, but I tell you, my power surpasses all your weaknesses. You think that what is missing in your hands prevents what can happen, but I tell you, I work through what you give to me. My son, you look at the size of the problem, but I look at the greatness of what I have put inside you. You look at your flaws, but I see an opportunity for my strength to manifest. You look at your insecurities, but I see a place where your faith can grow. Look at David. To human eyes, he was just a young man with a small sling in front of a great giant. It seemed insufficient, it seemed impossible, but David did not win because his tool was great. He won because his trust was in me. The sling was small, but the purpose was great. My son, maybe you are looking at what you have and thinking that it is little. Maybe you look at your experience, your history, your resources and say, I don't have enough. But I tell you, what seems small in your hands can become powerful when it is in my hands. Look at Moses. He looked at his difficulty in speaking and believed that it would be an impediment. But I wasn't looking at his limitation. I was looking at the mission I had put into it, because I don't choose only those who seem prepared. I prepare the ones I choose. My word says in Judges 6:12, The Lord is with thee, O mighty man of valor, my son. Gideon did not see himself as someone strong. He hid, felt small, and believed that his story didn't matter. But I saw something that he still couldn't see. I saw a warrior being formed. I saw courage emerging. I saw an identity being restored. So I also look at you. I don't just see what you feel you lack. I see what I am developing within your soul. I see your perseverance. I see your ability to continue. I see their faith being strengthened through battles. You think you need to become perfect to be used by me, but I tell you, my grace reaches you right where you are. I am revealing a force that was hidden. I am awakening a courage that has been stifled by fear. I'm showing that your weaknesses aren't the end of your story. They are places where my presence can be revealed in a deeper way. My child, do not allow what you do not possess to make you forget what I have already placed within you. The seed does not look like a forest when it is in your hand, but within it, there is a life that is yet to be revealed. So also there is something within you that is still being discovered. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and this message has been chosen by me to reveal something profound to you. Stay. My son, I know those moments when you look at a situation and feel like everything has come to its limit. I know that feeling of looking at a closed door, an interrupted dream, or a difficult phase and thinking, there is no way for me anymore. I know the thoughts that arise when something seems lost. I know the silence that comes after a great disappointment. But I want to reveal something that your soul needs to remember. You think it's over, but I tell you, I'm taking you to a new beginning. You think a story is over, but I tell you, I'm still writing chapters that you can't see. My son, you look at what died in your eyes, but I look at what can still be born by my hands. I am the God of new beginnings. I am the one who restores broken paths. I am the one who brings life to places where people believed that nothing else could flourish. My word says in Lamentations 3:22-23, The mercies of the Lord are the cause of our not being consumed. They are renewed every morning. Great is your faithfulness. My son, every dawn is a reminder that I have not abandoned you. Each new day carries an opportunity for renewal. Each morning brings proof that your story is not stuck in the previous chapter. You think your past has the authority to define what lies ahead, but I tell you, my hands are bigger than your mistakes, your losses, and your pains. You think that because something is over, everything is over. But I tell you, some endings are just preparations for new beginnings. Look at Abraham.
I called him to leave a familiar place and walk towards something he could not yet see. He had to leave an old station to live a new promise. Look at Peter. He failed, cried, and thought his story with purpose was over. But I restored his identity and showed that a fall was not the end of the journey. My son,
I am not limited by the previous chapters of your life. I don't look at you and see only what happened. I see what I'm forming. You think you're starting again from scratch, but I tell you, you're starting with everything you've learned, with everything you've matured.
and with everything I've built inside you. Nothing was wasted. No tears were ignored. No battle has passed without producing something in his soul. I'm turning difficult experiences into wisdom. I'm turning moments of pain into depth. I'm turning places where you thought you lost into places where my grace will be revealed. My son, do not be afraid of new beginnings. A seed must break through its old form to reveal new life. Sometimes,
what feels like a break is just the beginning of a transformation. I'm bringing new eyes for you to see your own story. I am renewing your hope. I am reminding your heart that what seems impossible to you is still possible to me. This message has reached you, and it can reach other children of mine. By subscribing to this channel and liking this video, you help my word reach more hearts. My son, I know the places in your life where you feel like everything has run dry.
I know those areas of your heart where there was once joy, hope, and expectation, but now seem covered by a difficult season. I know the moments when you look inside yourself and think, is there anything left for me? Can I still dream again? Can what I lost come back to life? But I want to reveal something profound to your soul. You think your roots have been cut. But I tell you, life is still flowing inside you. You think you've lost your ability to flourish. But I tell you, I'm still taking care of the roots that no one can see. My son, not everything that seems dead is really lifeless. There's a difference between a tree that has lost its leaves and a tree that has lost its roots. During the winter, a tree may appear to be unbeautiful, fruitless, and without signs of growth. But underground there is a silent movement going on. The roots continue to receive strength. Life continues to circulate. The preparation continues to happen. So I am also working on you. You look at what doesn't appear, but I look at what is being strengthened in the secret. You look at the lack of results, but I see restoration happening within your soul. You look at the silence, but I see new seeds being prepared. My word says in Job 14:7, "For there is hope for the tree. For though it be cut down, it shall be renewed, and its branches shall not cease." My son, this hope also exists for you. You think that some losses took away your ability to continue, but I tell you, they couldn't take away what I put inside you. You think that a difficult phase has erased your dreams, but I tell you, some dreams have just gone through a process of renewal. I'm bringing life to places you believed were completely empty. I'm touching wounded memories. I'm strengthening tired thoughts. I am reawakening desires that pain has tried to hide. My son, don't just look at the winter of your life. No season stays forever. The tree that loses its leaves is not doomed. She's waiting for the right time to reveal her beauty again. So is his journey. Maybe some leaves have fallen. Maybe some things have changed. Perhaps some paths have been closed. But the roots are still alive. And as long as the roots remain, there is a possibility of renewal. You think that what has been lost can never flourish again. But I tell you, I am capable of giving birth to life in places that seemed forgotten. I am able to restore your joy. I am able to renew your hope. I am able to rekindle within you that which seemed erased. My son, do not allow a winter season to make you believe that your spring will never come. I'm working on the invisible. I am strengthening that which sustains your life. I'm preparing a renovation that starts inside before it shows off. Because before a tree can bear fruit again, its roots need to receive again what nourishes its life, and I remain the source that sustains its roots. My son, I know every prayer that has come out of your mouth, including those that have been made only with tears. I know those moments when you couldn't find the words to explain what you were feeling, but your heart still cried out for me. I heard. I saw it. I was present. You think your prayers have been lost in silence, but I tell you, no words delivered to me have disappeared. You think I forgot what you asked for so long ago, but I tell you, I know every detail of the desire that exists within your soul. My word says in Psalm 56:8, "Put my tears in your skin. Aren't they in your book, my son?"
I see tears that no one has seen. I know pains that no one noticed. I know requests you made in places where only I could hear. Nothing you delivered to me was ignored. Sometimes you expect an answer happening around you, but I'm working inside you first. You think I'm standing still, but I tell you, I'm moving things in the invisible. You think that the absence of a change means the absence of my action, but I tell you, there are processes that begin in the depths before they appear before your eyes. A seed does not reveal its transformation at the same instant it is planted. At first, it remains hidden. First, it receives life under the earth. First, its roots begin to grow in silence. Only then do the fruits appear. So it is with his prayers. There are answers that start on the inside before reaching the outside. I am strengthening your faith while you wait. I'm adjusting your vision as you search. I am preparing your heart to recognize that which I am forming. My son, you think that the delay means that I did not hear, but I tell you, time does not limit my attention. I haven't forgotten his name. I have not forgotten his story. I have not forgotten that prayer said on a difficult night. I haven't forgotten that request you made when no one was around. I know every detail. I know the intent behind your words. I know the pain behind your request. And I also know what your soul needs to receive before your hand can hold what you desire. You think that the answer lies only in what changes outside, but I tell you, often the first answer is the transformation that happens within. I'm healing your anxiety. I'm strengthening your confidence. I'm teaching your heart to stand firm even when your eyes still can't see. My son, do not let time make you doubt my care. The night may seem long, but I keep working. The land may seem silent, but the seed lives on. The sky may seem closed, but I keep listening. Every tear was seen by me. Every prayer was received by me. Every moment of waiting is being used to form something deeper in you. Few get to this point in the message, my son. But you arrived, and that's no accident. What follows was reserved for those who persevered. My son, I know that longing that sometimes appears within your heart. I know that desire to go back to a phase when things seemed simpler, when you had fewer worries and believed that everything would be different. I know that some life changes made you look back and think, I wish I was like before. But I want to reveal something profound to your soul. You think you need to go back to who you were, but I tell you, I am forming who you are becoming, my son. I am not leading you back to the past. I am preparing you for a new identity. You think you have lost that person you once were, but I tell you, some old versions had to be left behind so that a new depth could be born within you. The seed does not go back to being just a seed after it begins to grow. It undergoes transformation because there is a greater purpose being revealed. So is your life. You have gone through experiences that have changed the way you see. You have gone through moments that have matured your heart. You faced situations that revealed strengths you didn't even know you had. My son, I'm not just restoring what you've lost. I am forming something that did not exist in you before. My word says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, All things have become new. I am birthing a new perception within you. I'm renewing your mind. I am strengthening your faith. I'm deepening your identity. You think you need to reclaim the past to find happiness again, but I tell you, there is a deeper joy being built within you. A joy that does not depend only on circumstances, a security that does not depend on people's approval, an identity that does not depend on the events around you. My son, some things you lost were not taken to destroy you. Some things needed to come out so that you would stop depending on them to know who you are. You think that old phase was the best moment of your life, but I tell you, I know paths that reveal a stronger and more conscious version of you. I know parts of you that have not yet been awakened. I know capabilities that have not yet been revealed. I know a spiritual depth that is growing within your heart. Don't compare who you're becoming to who you were. A young tree should not desire to return to being a seed just because the seed seemed more secure. There is growth in the process. There is beauty in transformation. There is purpose in each phase. My son, I am using your experiences to build wisdom. I'm using your battles to build maturity. I am using your walk to reveal an identity that does not depend on the past. Don't be afraid of the person who is coming up. I'm taking care of her. I'm strengthening it. I am preparing you to see that what you called change was also a form of renewal. My son, I know the moments when you look at your walk and try to find answers to everything. I know the need that exists within you to understand every detail, every change, every door that has opened and every door that has closed. I know your mind seeks explanations. I know your heart longs to understand why some things happen the way they did. But I want to reveal something profound to your soul. You think you don't understand the way, but I tell you, trust my hands. You think you need to see the whole journey before continuing, but I tell you, I already know each step before you even take it. My son, a child holds his father's hand without knowing the whole road. She doesn't know all the curves. She doesn't know all the places she's going to go, but she walks because she trusts the one who's leading. So too, I want to teach your heart to walk with me. You think that lack of answers means lack of direction, but I tell you, many times I am guiding you precisely in the moments when you cannot understand. You think you're walking aimlessly, but I tell you, my eyes are on your steps. My word says in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. My son, your vision reaches only the present moment. You see a small part of the story. I see the complete book. You see a closed door. I see a protection. You see a wait. I see a preparation. You see an unexpected change. I see a direction that is aligning its steps. I'm not lost about what happens to you. I'm not trying to find a solution for your life. I'm already working on the details that you don't notice yet. As you question the way, I'm strengthening your confidence. While you look for signs, I am forming your maturity. While you wish to understand everything, I am teaching your soul to rest in me. My son, the easiest path is not always the path that reveals what exists within you. Some difficult roads awaken forces that have remained hidden. Some processes reveal a faith you didn't know you had. A few waits show that your safety was never just in the circumstances, but in my presence. You think you need to have control over everything to feel peace, but I tell you, true peace is born when you hand control into my hands. I'm holding on to what you can't hold. I'm taking care of what you can't solve. I'm working in places where your anxiety can't reach. My child, do not allow a lack of understanding to rob you of your trust. The seed does not know the tree that will be. The river does not know all the places where it will pass. But both continue to follow the process that has been established. So I am also leading you. Trust my hands because they know paths that your eyes cannot yet see. If this message is confirming what you already felt in your heart, write in the comments, I trust in God's action. My son, I know that waiting can tire your soul. I know there are times when you look at the calendar, watch the time go by, and start thinking that maybe what you asked for will never happen. I know the questions that arise within you. Why is it taking so long? Why does the path of others seem faster? Why did I have to go through so many lawsuits? But I want to touch a deep part of your heart. You think the wait was too long, but I tell you, I was already preparing the right moment. My son, the time that seemed lost to you was never lost to me. While you counted the days, I worked on the details. While you looked at what had not yet happened, I looked at what needed to be formed within you.
You expected an answer, but I was strengthening your faith. You expected a door, but I was preparing your steps. You expected a change, but I was renewing your vision. Because some things you ask for require a more prepared version of you to be sustained. My son,
You think that delay is a barrier, but I tell you, many times, delay is a protection. I don't want to just hand something into your hands. I want to prepare your heart to value, care, and remain firm when it comes. A child receives a gift without fully understanding its value. But a mature person understands the weight, responsibility, and importance of what he has received. So it is with your walk. I'm forming maturity. I'm strengthening your structure. I'm deepening its roots. My word says in Psalm 27:14, "Wait for the Lord, be of courage, and strengthen your heart. Therefore, wait for the Lord." My son, the wait was not an empty room where nothing happened. The wait was a workshop where I worked on parts of his soul that no one could see. It was during this period that I taught you to trust, without depending on signs. It was during this period that I showed that his strength did not come only from circumstances, but from my presence. It was during this period that I revealed wounds that needed to be healed and thoughts that needed to be transformed. Look at David. Before he stood before a people as king, he was alone in the field tending sheep. Before facing a giant in front of everyone, he faced challenges in secret. The camp seemed small, but it was a school. Anonymity seemed forgetful, but it was preparation. My son, Maybe you are in a phase that seems small in people's eyes. Maybe no one sees what you're up against. Maybe no one realizes how much you've grown inside. But I see. I know every process. I follow every step. You think you are waiting for something that has not yet arrived. But I tell you, during this waiting, I am already making something born within you. The seed does not grow only when it appears above the ground. It grows first in the occult. And it is in this hidden place that I am strengthening that which will sustain the fruits that are yet to be revealed. My son, I know that feeling of looking at an opportunity that passed and thinking that it will never come back. I know the weight that exists when you see someone moving forward, conquering and living something that you also wanted, while you feel that you are still waiting. I know that silent thought that tries to enter your heart. I arrived too late. My chance has passed. Maybe what I hoped for will never happen. But I want to reveal something that your soul needs to remember. You think you've missed your opportunity, but I tell you, no plan of mine is late. My son, What I prepare for you does not depend only on the men's calendar. It does not depend only on the doors that have opened or the doors that have closed. I'm not limited by time. I am not hindered by circumstances. I'm not surprised by the events. You look at what has happened and call it loss, but I look at what is being formed and call it preparation. You think you're behind you, but I tell you, I was positioning you for the right moment. Sometimes a door won't open because you're still being strengthened to walk through it. Sometimes an opportunity does not come because I am preparing its structure so that it is not only received, but sustained. My son, I don't want to just get your hands on something new. I want to transform you so that it doesn't destroy your peace, your identity, or your faith. Look at Lazarus. When he was sick, many expected me to arrive immediately. But I stayed in my time. To human eyes, it seemed backward. It seemed that hope was gone. It seemed that there was nothing more to be done. But when I arrived, I revealed that what seemed impossible was still within my power. My word says in John 11:40, "Have I not told you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" My son, some situations need to seem impossible to reveal that my hand has always been present. You think that tardiness means absence, but I tell you, often, tardiness reveals a larger dimension of my purpose. You think you missed it because it didn't happen in the time you imagine, but I tell you, I know the perfect time. A seed planted before the right time does not produce better fruit. A construction started without preparation can collapse. There is a process before the demonstration. There is a preparation before the revelation. There is a formation before the conquest. My son, do not compare your story with other people's stories. Their path is not your path. Their time is not their time. What I do in someone's life does not diminish what I am doing in yours. I haven't forgotten his name. I didn't ignore his dreams. I haven't lost the direction of your story. You think an opportunity or has passed forever, but I tell you, when something is aligned with my purpose, I am able to restore paths, renew possibilities, and open doors that no one can close. I keep working, even when you think time is up. I keep writing even when you believe the story is over. My son, I know the weight you feel when you try to carry everything alone. I know those moments when your mind looks for answers, your hands try to find solutions, and your heart feels like it needs to sort out every detail of your journey. I know that you often take on responsibilities that were never meant to be carried by you alone. You try to control what you can't control. You try to anticipate problems that haven't even arrived yet. You try to find strength in places where they have already run out. But I want to reveal something deep to your heart. You think you need to fight with your own strength, but I tell you, I've won battles that you haven't even seen. My son, before a difficulty came to you, I was already working behind the scenes. Before a door seemed impossible, I already knew the way. Before a struggle arose before his eyes, I was already preparing sustenance for his soul. You think you're facing everything alone, but I tell you, my presence is already involving every part of your story. My word says in Exodus 14:13, "Do not be afraid. Be still and see the deliverance of the Lord, which he will make for you today." My son, when Israel looked at the sea, saw only a barrier. They saw deep water. They saw an impossible path. They saw a situation with no way out. But I already knew what they still couldn't see. While they saw the obstacle, I had already prepared the deliverance. As they saw the end, I was already preparing a path. So it is with you. You look at some situations and think, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But I tell you, you don't need to know all the details to trust the one who knows the full way. You see the battle coming, but I see the victory being built. You see the problem growing, but I see my hand supporting you. You see limits, but I see possibilities. My son, there are battles that I won before you even realized they existed. There are deliverances that never came to his knowledge. There are dangers that you have been protected from without even knowing it. There are doors that I closed because I knew what your eyes couldn't reach. You thought that closed door was a loss, but I tell you, some closed doors were a form of care. You thought that interrupted path was a frustration. But I tell you, some interruptions were deliverances. My child, do not allow anxiety to make you believe that everything depends only on your ability. I didn't ask you to carry the world on your shoulders. I asked you to trust my hands. The child does not need to know the entire path to hold the Father's hand. She just walks because she knows she is being guided. So, I'm leading you. I am strengthening your heart. I'm calming your thoughts. I am reminding your soul that you are not abandoned in the midst of battle. I've already gone ahead. I have already prepared the way. I'm already working in places you can't see yet. In the next few minutes, my son, I will show you something that can be a direct sign from me for your life. Don't leave now. My son, I know the places within you where the words of the past still try to echo. I know the marks left by moments when you were made to believe that you were not enough, that you had no value, or that your story would be defined by the mistakes you made. I know every thought that has tried to diminish what I have put into you. I know every memory that tried to steal your peace. But today, I want to touch your soul deeply. You think your identity has been stolen by the past. But I tell you, I have restored who you are. My son, what people have said about you has no more power than what I have said about you. You think it's what they did to you, but I tell you, you are what I'm forming in you. You think your falls define your story, but I tell you, my hands have always been working on your restoration. My word says in Isaiah 43:1, "Do not be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine." My son, before anyone knew his flaws, I already knew his essence. Before anyone pointed out his mistakes, I already knew his heart. Before anyone saw your limitations,
I already knew the purpose I put within you. I never looked at you only through the difficult times. I never reduced his life to a wrong decision. I never defined his story by a phase of pain. You look at a bookmarked page and think the whole book is lost.
But I tell you, a hard page doesn't destroy an entire story. I keep writing, I keep restoring, I keep revealing parts of you that have been hidden because of the wounds. My son, there are people who have spent years trying to prove their worth because they have forgotten that their worth was not born of their approval. The world changes its mind. People can arrive and leave. Circumstances may change, but what I have put inside you remains. You think you need to get back the person you were
Before the pain, but I tell you, I'm revealing a stronger, more conscious, deeper person. I don't want to just give back what you've lost. I want to restore your vision of who you are. Because when your identity is healed, your choices change. When your heart understands your worth, you stop accepting places where your soul doesn't belong. When you recognize that you are loved by me, you stop carrying the weight of looking to other people for what only my presence can fulfill. My son, I am removing names that have been put on you. I'm erasing lies you believed about yourself. I'm bringing light to old thoughts that tried to keep you stuck. You are not the rejection you received. You are not the guilt you carried. You are not the abandonment you faced. You are someone my hands are restoring. I see you beyond appearance. I see you beyond the story told by people. I see the heart that keeps searching, even after so many battles. And as I work within you, I am revealing that your true identity has never been lost. She just needed to be remembered. My son, I know your tendency to believe only what your eyes can reach. I know the way you look at the circumstances around you and try to measure my action through what you can perceive. But I want to teach your soul to see beyond the natural. You think that the invisible is empty, but I tell you, there is a work going on that you cannot yet see. My child, not everything that exists is immediately revealed to your senses. There are processes that happen in silence, away from human eyes, but completely known by my hands. You look at a seemingly still land, but I see a seed taking root. You look at a dark night, but I see the first signs of dawn. You look at a situation without change, but I see a transformation being formed in the deep. My word says in 2 Corinthians 4:18, we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things that are seen are temporal, and the things that are not seen are eternal. My son, what you can see is only a small part of reality. You think that because you haven't seen the answer yet, it doesn't exist, but I tell you, there are movements happening before the demonstration. You think that because you have not yet received the signal, I am not working. But I tell you, my action does not depend on your perception. I'm working on the invisible. I am strengthening areas of your heart that no one can observe. I'm reorganizing thoughts. I'm healing old wounds. I am preparing your consciousness to understand that which once seemed impossible. My son, a tree does not begin with the fruit. Before anyone sees its branches, its leaves, and its beauty, there is a hidden period where its roots go deeper. No one applauds the root growing underground. No one observes the silent struggle of the seed breaking through its own structure to generate new life. But I see. I follow every move. I know every step. So it is with you. You think you're standing still, but I tell you, there's growth going on inside of you. You think you're in the same place, but I tell you, your soul is being strengthened. You think that nothing has changed because the scenario remains the same, but I tell you, some of the biggest transformations start first in the interior. My son, do not despise the invisible processes. Don't despise the moments when no one notices what I'm doing. Often, what is most important is not what everyone can see. The gold is purified in the fire before revealing its brilliance. The root grows in the dark before it supports a tree. Morning rises before the sun is fully seen. I'm working in places where your eyes can't reach. I'm touching areas that your hands can't reach. I am forming something inside you that will be greater than what you imagined. You think you need external proof to believe that I am present.
But I tell you, my presence is already acting in the depths. I continue to take care of it. I continue to train. I continue to conduct every detail of your story. Because what today seems invisible to your eyes is already being known and worked on by my hands. My son, I know there are times when you look at your own history and see only the hard parts. I know that some memories still carry weight inside your heart. There are chapters you'd like to rewrite, moments you wish had never happened, and paths you'd like to be different. But I want to show you something that your soul needs to understand. You think your story was marked by suffering,
but I tell you, I'm revealing the glory hidden in the process. My son, you look at the pain and ask why you had to go through it.
But I look at what was being formed as you walked that path. You see the tears, I see the transformation, you see the difficulties, I see the depth that was born within you. You see the wounds, I see the restoration happening.
Not everything that seems to break you is destroying you. Some things are peeling away old layers to reveal what I've put inside. The clay needs to be molded before it becomes a work. Gold needs to pass through fire before it can reveal its purity. The seed needs to
break through its own structure before it can generate new life. So it is with you. I worked in places where no one saw. I strengthened parts of you that no one knows about. I develop a faith that doesn't just depend on easy days. My word says in Romans 5:3-4, and not only this, but we also rejoice in tribulation, knowing that tribulation produces patience, and patience, experience, and experience, hope. My son, I didn't waste a single moment of your process. No tear was useless, no battle was ignored, no difficult night passed without me being present. You think you were just surviving. But I tell you, I was strengthening your ability to stay. You think you were just going through a difficult phase, but I tell you, I was building within you a resistance that will be necessary for the next steps. I know that sometimes you have wished that I would immediately remove that which was causing you pain. But I was also working on something deeper. I wasn't just interested in changing the scenery around him. I was transforming the person facing that scenario. Because an external change without an internal transformation does not sustain what I want to build. My son, some people will only see the end result, but I know the whole way. I know every night you chose to keep going. I know every moment when your faith seemed small, yet you held my hand. I know every time you thought about giving up, but found the strength to take another step. This strength did not come only from you. I was supporting you. You think your story is a collection of pains, but I tell you, your story is also a collection of overcoming. I'm changing the way you look at the past. I am showing that what tried to extinguish your hope also revealed a strength that was hidden. I am turning your process into a testimony. I am revealing that no difficult phase has been able to stop what I am forming in you. At the end of this message, you will feel my presence in a way that you may never have felt before. Stay with me until the end, my son. I know this search that exists within you. I know those moments when you look outside, hoping that something will change to finally feel peace. You expect an answer, a confirmation, an open door, a word that takes all doubt out of your heart. I know that many times you believe that the solution lies in something that needs to happen around you, but I want to reveal something profound to your soul. You think you need an external answer, but I tell you, I've already put the answer inside you. My son, before changing some circumstances, I work on your perception. Before revealing a path, I strengthen your spiritual senses to recognize the direction. Before I give something into your hands, I prepare your heart to understand the value of what you receive. You think you just need a change outside, but I tell you, the greatest transformation starts within. I am forming discernment in you. I am strengthening your awareness. I'm teaching your soul to recognize my voice, even when the surrounding scenery seems confusing. My word says in Colossians 3:15, "And let the peace of God, to which you were also called in one body, rule in your hearts. My son, My peace does not depend on everything being resolved. My peace does not depend on all the answers appearing immediately. My peace is born when your heart understands that it is safe in my hands. You think you'll find rest when everything changes, but I tell you, I'm teaching you to find rest while I work on the changes. You think you need to control all the details to have peace of mind, but I tell you, true security is in trusting the one who knows all the details. My child.
There is a voice within you that has often been drowned out by fear, anxiety, and difficult experiences. But I'm bringing clarity again. I'm silencing thoughts that confuse your walk. I am strengthening your perception so that you recognize that which comes from me. A tree doesn't need to run to grow. It remains connected to the source and, at the right time,
Reveals its fruits. So I am also working on you. You don't have to run desperately after answers. You need to stay connected to the one who sustains your life. I'm putting down deep roots. I'm developing maturity. I'm teaching you to realize that my answer doesn't always come as a big, visible event. Sometimes my direction comes as an unexpected peace. Sometimes it arrives as a silent certainty. Sometimes it comes as a strength you didn't know you possessed. My son, I am already touching places within you that were once dominated by doubt. I am already bringing light to old thoughts. I'm already showing that you're not empty, waiting for an answer to come from the outside. There is something being built inside of you. There's a wisdom being formed. There's a spiritual strength growing. You think you're looking for a way, but I tell you, many times, I am revealing that the path begins within your own transformed heart. I am preparing you to see what previously went unnoticed. I am teaching your soul to trust the process. I'm showing that the answer you're looking for is also being formed in who you're becoming. If this video came at the right time for you, write in the comments, "I believe, Lord," and declare that you are ready for this new phase. My son,
I know that there are times when the wind seems stronger than your ability to continue. I know that feeling of looking at the storm and thinking that it will never pass. I know the weariness of a soul that waited, struggled, and stood firm even when everything around seemed to tell it to give up. I know the limit where you have come. I know that part of your heart that whispers, "Is it still worth continuing?" But listen carefully, my son. You think you're alone in the midst of the storm, but I tell you, my presence is still with you. You think the delay means I'm not acting, but I tell you, I'm working even when the scenario still looks the same. My word says in John 14:27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give it to you as the world gives. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." My son, the peace I give is not a peace that depends on perfect circumstances. It is not born when all problems disappear. It is born when your heart understands that I continue to hold your hand. You think you need to see the storm and to rest, but I tell you, I have already established peace within you. I am strengthening your inner self. I am sustaining your hope. I am renewing your strength in the places where you thought there was nothing else. My son, the storm is not greater than the one that is with you. The wind can blow. The waters can be agitated. Circumstances may try to frighten your soul. But no storm can erase what I have put inside you. Look at the disciples in the boat. They looked at the waves and believed that the end had come. But I was inside the boat. Their presence with me was greater than the strength of the surrounding storm. So it is with you. You look at what's going on outside, but I'm taking care of what's going on inside. You think you just need an immediate change, but I tell you, I am preparing a deeper transformation. My son,
The longest wait often reveals a deeper work. Before birth, there is a period of preparation. Before harvest, there is a growing season. Before the revelation, there is a time when everything seems hidden. But the hidden does not mean forgotten. I have not forgotten your prayers. I didn't ignore his tears. I have not abandoned what I have placed in your heart. You think you're too late, but I tell you, you're closer than you think. You think that the last phase of the journey is the most difficult because you are tired, but I tell you, many times the moment when you feel that you can no longer is the moment when my strength manifests itself in the most powerful way. I'm already working behind the scenes. I'm already lining up details. I am already preparing that which your eyes cannot yet contemplate. My son,
Don't let go of my hand now. Don't let the intensity of the storm make you forget the promise of my presence. What you have waited for so long has not been forgotten. The longest night always precedes the most awaited dawn. Stand firm because I continue to lead you to what I have prepared. My son, I know the weight you carried trying to prove who you are. I know the times when you have pushed yourself beyond your limits to be recognized, accepted, and valued.
I know every moment when you tried to show your ability to people who may never have fully seen what I have put inside you. I know this tiresome search for approval. I know this need to hear from someone that you are enough. But today, I want to touch a deep part of your identity. You think you need to prove yourself, but I tell you, you are already mine before any achievement. My son, you were not born to live trying to conquer a love that has already been delivered to you. You don't have to run after an identity that I've already put on your life. You are not defined by what you can accomplish. You are not defined by the number of people who recognize you. You are not defined by the achievements you achieve or the failures you face. Its value was not born from its results. Your value was born of my love. My word says in Ephesians 2:10, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared for us to walk in them." My son, before his hands built anything, I already knew his essence. Before you reached any position, I already knew your heart. Before you received any applause, I was already calling you by name. You think you are what you have achieved, but I tell you, you are what I have declared about you. You think your mistakes have written your identity, but I tell you, your falls have no authority to erase what I have established. You are not the end product of your mistakes. You are not the sum of your failures. You are not the memory of the words that wounded your soul. You belong to me. My son, I don't look at you like the world does. The world observes results. I watch the heart. The world sees appearances. I see the essence. The world remembers the moments when you fell. I see every time you found the strength to get up. I call you by your name, not by your downfalls. I see you for the purpose, not for the past. I see you for the transformation I'm making, not for the moments when you felt lost. My son, I am removing from you the weight of needing to be accepted by everyone, because when you understand that you are already loved by me, you stop living as someone trying to deserve a place. You start walking as someone who already belongs. You start building without fear. You begin to serve without seeking approval. You begin to live without carrying chains that were never yours. I'm restoring your identity. I'm reminding your heart of a truth that pain has tried to hide. You are
Mine. Before the conquest, before recognition, before the victory. You were already loved. You were already known. You already had value before my eyes, and what I have established within you, no one can take away. My son, I have come with you to this moment, and I want to pour over your life a last word of love and hope. I thank you for staying with me until the end of this message. I know the hearts of those who arrived, tired, wounded, and carrying battles that no one can see, yet chose to open their souls to hear my voice. I saw your perseverance. I've seen every moment when you thought about giving up, but found the strength to keep going. I saw when your faith seemed small, but you still held my hand.
I saw your tears, your prayers, and the thoughts you never told anyone. Today, I declare a spiritual truth about your life. There is blessing for those who endure to the end. I honor a heart that continues to seek my presence, even after facing difficult days. The journey may have been long, but each step had a purpose. Each process revealed something in you that needed to be strengthened. My son, if this message spoke to your heart, write in the comments, "I watched until the end and also put your city." I want you to declare your perseverance and recognize that you have come this far because my hand has sustained you throughout this journey. Like this video, share this word with someone who needs to hear hope and subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you help this message reach other hearts that also need to remember that they are not alone. Be an instrument of love, faith, and renewal for other lives. My son, Never forget what I revealed today. You are not defined by your pain. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by the moments when you have fallen. You belong to me. I know your name, I know your story, and I continue to work in places your eyes can yet see. I bless your mind with peace. I bless your heart with hope. I bless your steps with direction. May you walk knowing that my presence is with you in every season, in every challenge, and in every new beginning. Allow God to continue speaking to your heart. Take the next step in this journey by watching the next video that will appear here on the screen. In it, we will continue to learn how to live in God's presence and experience the fullness of His plans. Don't stop here because God still has much more to speak to you. Always remember, God is greater and His presence is our strength. Trust Him and He will do infinitely more than you can imagine. May God bless your life and see you in the next video.